Well, we knew this day was coming, buddy. It was actually yesterday, but we knew that Matt be retiring pretty soon. And number two decided to hang it up yesterday. So we weren't planning on doing a show until the draft on Thursday, but I mean,
I mean,
circumstances
I'm a
are what they
busy
are.
man, but I make time for things like this, buddy. Let's send them out right.
And welcome in, folks. It is episode 170 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. My name is John, your host, joined by my co host and fellow number two wearing Mr. Mike Cottrell. What's up, buddy?
Dog, I've never been more excited to do a show. I want to tell y'all, I said on the last show, I come in at the last minute. Oh, I was 15 minutes early for this one.
But,
Okay. Not,
but
not only was I 15 minutes early, John didn't send the link. The sheer panic and terror that was through my blood. I hit him up like, send me the link. What are you doing? Oh, I got notes. I got notes. I got phones. But I've never been prepared like this ever. I want to send my man out in style. I cannot wait to do this. I've never been more excited for a show. I'm ready to go.
man, I typically send the link to Mike about sometimes a day ahead of time. Like literally, like he'll have it hours or a day ahead of time. And like I'm sitting here and like we said on the last show, if y'all didn't know, like he normally pops in about like a minute right before we go live. So I get a text and he's like, "You send the link?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" So like I've been it's been a day and I just got done working out, had to jump on and to get everything set up. But then yeah, I forgot to send you the freaking invite, which is the most important thing.
Yes,
But
sir.
anyway, guys, welcome in. Like I said, if you're here new to the show, welcome in. Hope you guys enjoy the content and you like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, we said on Saturday with our pop up show that we weren't planning on doing a show, and then yesterday Matt retires, so both of us being big Matt Ryan fans, it just seemed only fitting we had to do a show,
Mhm.
to basically in tribute to Matt. So that's what the show is going to be about. We're probably not going to talk any draft because we've talked draft as much as we can talk draft. It is what it is at this point. So Thursday, Thursday 7:45. Y'all come hang out with us, pound for pound, New Millennium. We'll be live on either any of those channels, so you can just hop in there with us from 7:45 to the end of the first round, and we're having fun. So, but tonight it's gonna be all about Matt. And I think, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm almost certain that like 99% of the people that watch our show or is in the chat are Matt Ryan fans too. And if you are, great. If you don't like Matt, then either you don't. I mean, you might as well go ahead and log off now,
Yeah.
or if you want to maybe get your mind changed, you can listen or watch whatever you want to do, because there'll be no negative shit about Matt tonight at all.
No.
There will be no bashing Matt. There will
Nope.
be nothing like that going on. Because number one, it's our show. We're going to do what we want to do. But
Hmm.
number two, uh, you know, it's sad that we have to say, the greatest quarterback in our club's
Hmm.
history. We have to say like, hey, there'll be no negative stuff about him. But that's just how it's been over the course of his career.
And
But
I'll say it even more blunt. Carry that shit somewhere else today. It's the Matt Ryan tribute. He retired yesterday. We just paying tribute to the GOAT. So if you came to criticize or you came to say anything negative about the man, this is not the show for that. And we usually will hear your side out, but not for
not today.
retirement. For not for retirement. But it's my favorite player in the history of the sport. I'm not gonna allow it. So just in the most polite way I can say it, I'm sure you got 20 other platforms to go, and you can vent your frustrations there. This is not the night. Let me have my night. If there was ever a show that I wanted to do, it's Matt Ryan in the background, Matt Ryan show. So don't ruin this for me. Don't you take this from me.
That's
Okay,
right.
this is an exciting day.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's we I mean, for the most part, it is like there's a vast majority of the fans support him and
Mhm.
love him. It's just a small, minute few, and there's various reasons for it. And this has been a tired argument, man. It's been a tired argument from day one.
Mhm.
Like from I mean, you've been through it. Like I'm not going to change anybody's mind. More than likely, they're not sure as hell not going to change my mind.
Same here. Yeah.
I've got. You can show me whatever you want. I can show you my stats. You can show you yours. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's like it
Mhm.
depends on some folks for whatever reason view football more singular than they should as a team, which is
Mhm.
ridiculous because, and they say it all the time, and you hear it around the league, is the ultimate team sport. Is a cliche, of course it is, but it really is. I mean, when the Patriots were successful for all those years, what was Belichick's mantra? Do your job. Your job. So if one person in that 11 is not doing their job, it can fuck up everything. And and so it's like, yeah, of course. Now there have been quarterbacks over the years that can succeed withstanding some of the issues they have on the offensive line. They can, Patrick Mahomes, he can make stuff up out of, he might be the best quarterback ever to play before it's said and done. Tom Brady, we can go through a list of the guys that those upper echelon elite guys that has, they're able to succeed when other quarterbacks can't, and that's what makes them elite of the elite. Matt is not elite of the elite, and we know that. We're not idiots. We're not like that. Matt's color glasses, but damn good quarterback regardless. I mean, like and we'll get into a whole bunch of things about him. But before we do, man, y'all are welcome to comment, share your positive thoughts, your questions, anything like that, man. We'll throw you up there, man. Mr. John Harrell, what's up, buddy?
Big John, greatest QB of Falcons history. You damn right, Mr. Pam. Thank you for coming, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Berto, thank you for coming, y'all.
So Matt Ryan, thank you for everything. Yes, sir. Miss Carey, what's up?
Falcons fam, so excited for the show. Ready to honor the greatest quarterback in Atlanta Falcons history, Matty Ice, the GOAT. Thank you for all the memories. True pro on and off the field. I love it. Thank y'all for coming tonight. This means the world. Steve can't stay, but Steve, thank you for coming, popping in. He said, I can't stay, but just got to say, Matt Ryan is the Falcons GOAT. Help make me a fan and turn this franchise into something relevant. Yes, sir. Thank you for coming, Steve. I knew, I was 15 minutes early, just sitting here looking at the laptop. Steve said, absolute favorite memory, whooping the run the table Packers. Yep, and NFC. Man, I was at that game, buddy. To send the Georgia Dome out on top. Yep,
absolutely.
Nick said, who has tissues? Millie Mills.
What's going on, Millie?
I was up with it. I framed my MR2. Oh, you framed your jersey and Julio jerseys 4 years ago and hung it up next to Vic. And now Matt is officially retired. It looks even better now. That's dope. I love the frame jersey. I'm gonna frame mine. I need one to frame and one to wear. Curry said, I watched the D Atlanta Matt Ryan let a video like that choke you tough, man. Hey, I cried like a bit. When John texted me yesterday, I just want to tell you, I'm busy all day, so I don't really look at my phone. So I just he said something like, yeah, we got to do a show on Matt. And the pain that went through me, because I'm thinking, oh no, what has happened? And I'm thinking there's three people that mean the world to me that I don't know personally, and that's Allen Iverson, Lil Wayne, and Matt Ryan. Okay. So the way to get tears from me is to tell me something one of them happened. I thought something happened to him. But I watched that too, Kerry. It was emotional. I watched it a few times. I actually cried when I watched it.
Y'all know what's funny? Like, so Mike and I are the same boat. We don't really get on Twitter a ton during the day. If we do, it's just like real quick off and on, whatever. But I didn't know. I didn't see the video, whatever. So Aaron Freeman, shout out to Aaron Freeman, Locked on Falcons. He tweeted us and said, "Man, Mike's going to be inconsolable." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't know what happened either. So I clicked on it and I saw the videos. Like, oh damn, it hit me right in the gut, dude. So
I told John, I said, "Man, I am crying at the gym. You got me. I am crying tears at the gym, because he was choked up. You could hear the frog in his throat. It was emotional."
I thought he was going to lose it at the
I did too.
When he got to talking to Sarah as well. I thought that was, and you could tell like it was tough.
Yeah.
It was really tough.
You love Atlanta, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Carrie said, please log off if you're not a Matt Ryan fan. Yeah, absolutely.
We're not going to do it today. We're not even going to bring no negativity into it. Hit that like button. Hey, hit the like button for Matty Ice, if nothing else. Just Liam, buddy.
What's going on, Liam?
And I want to shout out to Liam because he unlocked Matty on Madden. I don't know how he did it, but I remember he was playing with Matty, and I've never been more proud of him. He said he was awesome, too. He got cards or something. I don't know. He'll explain it to you, but he actually unlocked him, so he got to play with Matt. That was dope. Millie Mills said my favorite Matt Ryan play was the bomb to Julio over Kuechly. Remember when he took it over? I was out of my fucking mind when I saw that. That was one of the greatest catches ever, too.
Hey, and big shout out to the Atlanta Falcons social media team. They put out every one of Matt's touchdowns on Twitter, and I'm sure it's elsewhere too. But if you haven't seen it, man, it's 80 minutes long. 80 minutes. I watched
it all last night. I watched it.
I mean, if you want to just have some fun, go back and if you're a huge fan, go back and just watch because it's a good watch. Tyreek said we're keeping our picks for this year. Falcons fans in shambles. Salute to Matt Ryan. That's right.
Sir. Salute to Matt Ryan. TJ
Jordan, what's cracking, bud?
Jordan, he said it feels good to finally catch another live. Thank you, man. Been a while. Hopefully everyone is well. Really excited for the draft. Matt is an unquestioned Hall of Famer to me. I love it. He has always represented the team with class.
Yep.
Y'all gonna make me emotional, and we 5 minutes in. So let's reel it in before. Okay, Liam said I'm gonna be completely honest.
You're about to get look. Okay, stop. I haven't wrote a will yet. So look,
he's trolling. I already know he's trolling.
Better be trolling, because we just said there'll be no negative. Like, this is not the right time for this. This is not the right time for this. No. We'll talk about all that stuff. I'm gonna prove you all wrong. Let's see. Yeah. Our brother said Matt Ryan is slammer. Matt Ryan said they're not needed. That's right, buddy.
Right on, Berto. Not 88. He said, just watch the video with every Matt Ryan touchdown and what a touch he had on his passes. You saw, I watched it too. I'm gonna watch it again tonight. Placement is out of this world. Yep, I need an alarm clock that says touchdown Atlanta Matt Ryan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First ballot. I love it, Miss Pam. First ballot, Hall of Fame, class act, and ultimate professional. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Jamal says that tail end had a tear in my eye drop. No cap. Yes, sir. Liam, buddy, you must be a little too young to remember. No, he's trolling. Trust me. He said, see, he said, it's not that deep, but also, yes, he was clearly trolling. He loved Matt Ryan like I love him. Yeah. Millie Man said, but I appreciate Matt Ryan for picking up the torch for the franchise after the whole Vic BS. Yes, sir. He had a lot of pressure early and gave us stability at the QB position. Thank you, Matt Ryan. Never forget it.
Yeah. So, all right. So, and y'all keep bringing the chat, man.
All day. Y'all want to say we reading them all. So
yeah, we'll get them all on there, and obviously we got our stuff to talk about. But so yeah, I mean, buddy, when he was drafted in 2008, I know you were in DC at the time, so you probably weren't really listening to a whole lot of Atlanta radio or whatever going on. But when he was drafted, y'all, and if y'all in the chat have been listening as long as I have to Atlanta Sports Talk Radio, y'all know that I'd say probably 70% of the city was wanting to take Lynn Dorsey in that draft. We needed a pass rusher, and I mean that was just like, he seemed like a can't miss type of guy. So we don't take him. Kansas City takes him. To say he was a bust is like just saying it lightly. So we take Matt with number 3. And dude, I mean, like he came in, like, if y'all and the 2007 season, guys, like in between Vic and Matt was just God. I mean, you just want to erase it from your memory, like, right, the entire thing. Joey Harrington. I mean, it was. I don't even want to bring it back up. It was just like the whole city was kind of in shock from losing Mike. And the way that haul went down, people were pissed off. I was pissed off. I mean, as a dog lover, I was like, I'm done with Mike. And he was my favorite player. Like, he was my favorite player. Like, it killed me. I was like, you gotta be shitting me, man. Like, this is how this is going to happen. It's like, I threw away my shit. Like, I was extremely emotional. And like, now since then I've forgiven Mike since, like he's totally revamped himself, and he does a ton of work for the Humane Society, and just like, I'm all about second chances. And hey, that's fine. Totally forgive him. But a lot of the city, for whatever reason, they couldn't move on from Mike, and that was tough. And then when Matt came in, you couldn't be more polar opposite from Mike than Matt. And I don't mean one's white and one's black. I don't mean that at all.
In every way.
In general, in every way. And like the way he played the game, the way Mike played the game. Mike was the most exciting player we'd ever seen. And in the league. And I mean, he was, like I said, that's why he was my favorite player. Like, he was amazing to watch. Now, talent-wise, he could have been an all-timer had he put in the work. And he said, this is his words, had he put in the work, he probably could have been a hell of a lot better than he was. But if you look at numbers alone, there's no question, not even a minor question, that who the best quarterback in our franchise history is. And that's Matt, easily. And I mean, just to start with a few career stats for you guys, you may have heard it. 46 game winning drives, that's 6th all time. 76 career 300-yard games, that's 4th all time. 62,792 career yards, that's 7th all time. And the 6 guys ahead of him, by the way, are all Hall of Famers, or they're all Hall of Famer, like locks to go into the Hall of Fame, basically. And because Rivers will be eligible 2026. So you want to hear the top 6? Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Matt, Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning. So pretty decent company there. 381 381 touchdown passes, 9th all time. 5,551 completions, 5th all time. 268 yards per game, which is 8th all time. By the way, Brady was 266 yards per game for what it's worth. 93.6 career rating, 65.6 career completion percentage, 234 starts, 124, 109, and 1. And you talk about his playoffs, and this is where, and we'll stop. But before we get to the playoffs, so a lot of people will say, like, the record's not good enough, at 124, 109, and 1. And you'll see some people who will just say, like, hey, you can't include record as a QB stat. And which is funny because Matt said in his press conference, or maybe it was I've seen like one of the interviews. I think it might have been it was one of the interviews he did. So Mike Smith told him his rookie year that it was the interview with Arch and Wes Durham. He said that wins and losses will be attached to two people, me and you, nobody else. And he's right. So you don't see wins. You don't talk about a wide receiver and talk about how many wins he had, right? Or running back, how many wins did he have, or whatever. It's the quarterback and the coach. So it's kind of weird as it is that you've got 22 guys on the field, defense and offense and defense. It all goes back to the quarterback, right? So to me, the wins don't necessarily really matter. Like, I mean, it's important, of course, but it's like I said before, it's a team sport, man. Like, it just is. That's just, I mean, that's what it boils down to. So you get to his playoffs, and obviously you had the rough start to start the playoffs. 10 starts and he was 4-6. Sitting out, here's his numbers: 67.5% completion percentage, 2,672 yards, 20 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, and a passer rating of 100.8 in the playoffs. So if you look at the numbers, none of that sounds like it's a Matt problem when it comes to the playoffs. And if you look at his 6 losses in the playoffs, they were all to eventual Super Bowl teams. And 3 of those teams won the Super Bowl. So again, it may sound like this is excuses. This is just facts. This is just what happened during the season. This is how it went down. 2008 and 9, we lost to the Cardinals. That was his rookie year in the first round. And the Cardinals, if y'all remember, went on to beat the Steelers if it wasn't for that ridiculous throw and catch by Roethlisberger. And then you have the Packers in 2010 and 11. The Giants won the Super Bowl in the next year, 2011-12. And then we lost to the 49ers, who went on to play the Ravens in 2012-13. Of course, we know what happened in the Patriots game, so we'll obviously get to that. And then the Eagles with that. Again, we were 2 yards away from winning that game, and we can talk about that game all you want to, because that was, I don't know, weird play call from Sarkisian and just, But overall, man, I mean, his playoff record is what it is. But again, like, he did mostly his job. Like, he did his part, so you have to look at what did other guys do? What did the offensive line do? What did the defensive line do? Or what did the defense do in general, not defensive line, the defense. And that's where we got to fall into some problems over the years with the Falcons, is we haven't had the best defenses and the best offensive lines. We had some good years, but it's not been the best. So, like, just based on the numbers you just heard, man, what you saying?
I'm gonna go like this, man. Jay-Z got a line in a song. He said, like, it's never. What did he say? He said it's never been this good for this long. And I feel like that 14 years is a long time to be consistent. When you look at most of his league records, his football records, where he holds the record for the league, it's in his first years, it's like he threw for the most yards in the first 5 years than anybody in league history. He threw for the most yards in 14 years than anybody in NFL history. I'll say this. I don't feel like no quarterback we've ever seen carried a team more single-handedly than Matt Ryan did. Because when anyone would criticize him, I had a trick I would play, and I would say, "Did you see the game?" And everyone that would criticize him said, "Nah, but I saw a sports center, I saw the highlight." Well, you didn't see the game. If you saw the game, then this was the only person doing their job. And then again, if you watched the game, you would be able to see the flaw wasn't Matt. We had a boy. When I make his argument, I say, who was Matt Ryan's greatest coach? Who was Matt Ryan's greatest running back? Who was his greatest? Did he ever have a great deep? Who was his greatest coordinator? He had the one good or two. Um, so when we talk about Matt and we talk about when he came, that was a huge task where you was guaranteed to fail. You had to replace the most electrifying player the league had ever seen. The league had ever seen. It was everybody's. He was a celebrity. You had to replace that with your boring, can't run that good, nerdy, right? You had to replace that, and we automatically don't like you. We automatically don't like you because you're not him. Man, he can't even run. He can't. If that was Vic, he would have. And then Matt Ryan came in. How many rookies do we see coming now and struggle? Matt Ryan came in bombing away. First pass. And he was good. Matt Ryan was good from the rip. Matt Ryan was consistent from the rip. The model of consistency. I could never talk bad about him. My favorite thing about Matt Ryan is I felt like, and this is what means something to me. So this is why he means something to me. Every week, I'd expect my team to shit the bed almost. Like, man, y'all disappoint me. And I didn't know if the defense, but it was like a group fight. So we knew as a group, we was going to go fight these guys. And it was almost a thing in your mind where we going to get beat up, right? But I felt like I was on the team. But I felt like, you know who I know is going to rumble with me every week out of all these people? This dude right here is gonna rumble with me every week. He not gonna run off, say he was in the bathroom. He not gonna say he was tying his shoe. He not gonna hide behind the car. He's gonna fight with me every single week. And the toughest quarterback to me in NFL history was proven by statistics. The Iron Man, right? All those fourth quarter comebacks. Matt Ryan is the reason. I'm not gonna say we are top tier respected because we aren't. Matt Ryan is the reason Atlanta football has any respect on his name. Because after Vic did what he did, everybody was like, man, they all just party animals. And like Nelly had a comment that he made on some podcast that I was going to drag him for, that he said that the reason why Georgia don't win is because all we do is have fun and we party and we don't take nothing serious. And I'm like, but that's not true. Because Matt Ryan was the logo for taking it serious, the logo for being professional. So again, like John said, that man had an impossible job to do, and he came in and he did it like the greatest quarterback we've ever seen here. So he came in and exceeded Michael Vick. Just imagine that. We didn't think, oh, here, well, we know. I don't know what you're gonna be, but I know you ain't gonna be good as him. I do know that for sure. And then you supersede that 10 times over, to where we not even thinking about Michael Vick no more. And we just like Matty. And to do it your way, kind of from the pocket. Again, when you look at Matt's stats that are league stats, it's all the first 2 years he threw for the most. The first 3 years he threw for the most. The fourth, that means everyone they gave him and said, you carry the team. You do it. And he did it. He carried the team. No quarterback to me I've ever seen has been asked to do more single-handedly than Matt Ryan did. That's why I'm his biggest fan. He rumbled with me every week. He was always tough, and we would be losing, and I would almost check out, and then the 2-minute drill would happen, and I used to say, "Watch this." So whoever I was in the room with, "Hey, watch this," and like 95% of the time, we go right down. And I've never seen anybody in no huddle that was that efficient in no huddle. When he's reading the defense himself, when he say, "You be quiet and let me do it," I've never seen somebody that efficient. And he did it his own way. I respect him like no other player in NFL history. He's my idol, man. I wrote like just the way he carries himself as a human, as a man. I'll discuss that later, but just he means a lot to me. He means a lot to the state of Georgia, to the city of Atlanta. I love Hank Aaron. We got Dominique Wilkins and all that. There's no ambassador to the state of Georgia that can carry it with more class than Matt Ryan. There's nobody like him.
What now? What I don't think we've ever talked about this actually. What was your reaction when he was drafted? Did you have? Because I know you don't watch college. Were you just like?
No, I'm pissed because I'm gonna be honest. This is where my bias kicked in. Vic made me want a black quarterback just because I felt like he would be faster and could juke and run. We saw him play and was like, damn, he looked like a young Randall Cunningham. I remember seeing Randall do that. And then I seen Mike Vick do that. So my mind I was saying, man, only black quarterbacks can do that. And I seen Steve Young kind of do it, but I was thinking, go black or you whack, right? And I never thought, so when you get this dude and he don't even look fast, he don't even look like he can do that stuff, I'm automatically pissed. So that's what I said, you got to overcome. We automatically don't like you because he wearing gold chains, he with the rappers, he in videos. Like this dude is the coolest guy we've ever seen. His biggest, he's like the football Allen Iverson. And we can't believe that, oh my God, we got him. He represents Atlanta like he's right. So this guy doesn't represent Atlanta. You can't represent Atlanta, bro. You're not anything that Atlanta is. You got on a suit and tie. You don't even look like you. And
so he had to win you over then.
Oh man, like I think the city, but the way he came out good, and we was like, okay, we listening. Then the consistency was like, damn, then how serious he took it. He was getting better.
He had a great. I mean, I think Mike Smith was a perfect coach for him. Like
perfect for that.
His mentality, like what he, look, we had Michael Turner that year, so, and Matt said it, he said it himself, they made his life a lot easier when you could turn around and hand the ball to Mike Turner because he broke records that year, I believe. And you've got a Brian Finner and a Roddy White, type guys that are there as well. And it's like you set up and then you go out a few years and get Tony G, then we end up drafting Julio and it's like
Julio came.
Right. Yeah. And so then you start adding these weapons to him and you start seeing that. And what's unfortunate is like some of the offensive schemes we had were not that great. We talk about Malarkey, Dirk Cutter, and not until really we get to Shanahan does it really just kind of open up, and allow him to kind of like just really.
And you saw what happened.
Do his thing. Right. And it's a shame we only had him for a season. Well, 2 seasons, but really one is, obviously 16 is when it really got going. But like that just goes to show you kind of like how important the system is to a quarterback because they're not all created equal, and they're not every system's going to work. But as a coach, you're going to do what and you're going to try to your best that fit that player in that system, even though, obviously, Malarkey and Dirk Cutter's system, it would bore you to death. At times you just be like, my God. But it was a different time in the league too, 2008, 2009, 10. It was just a different, it was still kind of a running league at the point. He wasn't asked to go out there and throw 50 times a game or 40 times a game. And he even spoke about it too. He said, the different age, like now quarterbacks are expected to come in and throw 40 times a game and only throw one, maybe 2 picks at the most, and and win games from the start. And it's impossible. It's a tough league, man. And and shout out to the Birdcage LLC. If y'all have watched them on YouTube, fantastic show. They had Mike Smith on. I think it was either last week or week before, and they asked him the most important quality he thought of when it came to a quarterback. Because obviously, with our system going into their quarterback this year with Kirk, and he said leadership. By far, leadership was the most important thing. And like Matt embodied that like to his soul. Like that's just what he was. Did you hear the story about talking about like his Iron Man? Did you hear the story of why he never wanted to come out of games or why he played?
No.
So his uncle was a quarterback for Boston College, and he got hurt. The backup was Doug Flutie.
Oh, never played again.
And Matt knew that. So when Matt was in college, he actually broke his foot. And he came out of the game. They asked him like, what can we do? He said, we can't do anything. It's a clean break. And he's like, all right, well, what if I go back and play on it? Will it hurt? And he was like, will it make it worse? And like, well, no, it'll probably calcify. And then, we can just or re-break it and then fix it after the season. He was like, all right, that sounds good to me. I've had a broken foot like twice, and I've played, and I went about a week playing, and it was basketball. So it was brutal. But that's some painful shit. Like, I'm sure he has a lot better stuff he was available to him than was available to me to help support with the pain. But I eventually had to get it fixed. But so basically, and like the train, like he said, and like listen to the interview again with Dave Archer and West Durham, which was fantastic.
Loved it, man.
Yeah,
Loved it.
he was saying like Dave said like I did interviews with him 3 times a week, and there are many times I knew he should not be playing this week, like, and he knew it. Like he should not be suiting up this week, but he did it anyway, because he felt it was his responsibility to go out there, and he missed 3 games and 3 games, guys, 3 games his entire career. 2009, two
Y'all think that is because he was not hurt. He was hurt, but playing.
Yeah.
He was hurt. He was playing. How many times have you seen blood on that man's jersey? Like, really think about that. How many times you seen blood? The man never came out. So to me, the toughest quarterback. He don't look tough, but he's the toughest quarterback, man. And you that got to count for something. Like, I'm going down with my ship. I'm going out there every week, regardless of how I feel. And then Peyton Manning, for all his greatness, Peyton Manning and a few other quarterbacks would get in the press conference after the game and have no problem saying, well, yeah, we had protection issues. We wouldn't call nobody, but we had protect. You ever seen Matt Ryan do that? That he always say he would throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and still say, I got to do better if I kind of missed some things. I never, man, they dropped the pass. It was on the money. They wasn't blocking. Like, he never not one time. That's the leader. I got to do better. And when you saw that man spread the ball, he would get everyone involved. And I just want to shout out this too. I understand the show is about Matt, but there's no Matt without Roddy White. There's no Matt without Roddy White and Julio Jones and Brian Finneran. And he'll tell you that. This is not my opinion. He'll tell you that they helped him tremendously. Roddy White is responsible for a big part of those stats, and Julio Jones is responsible for a bigger part of those stats. So without those 2 guys, of course, Tony G, but those 2 receivers were Roddy White and Julio Jones. Matt Ryan had amazing, and they got records together. They got NFL records. They are one of the best duos you've ever seen play the sport of football. So, and that's with a limited coordinator, damn near 90% of the man's career.
Yeah,
love him, man. Just like I said, you gave him a little bit. I feel like he did a lot. He did a lot with what he had, man, and showed up every week without fail. I don't recall a lot of games where Matt played bad. Where I can remember, like, you lost us that because I remember like 1 or 2 in a 4th-year career. That's insane. Well, I was like, he didn't do good. I remember like 1 or 2 games, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, and every quarterback, no matter how good they are, they're going to have that 3 or 4 interception game. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, if you play long enough, like, it's going to happen. Like, period. The other guys on the other side of the field are paid as well to do that job. So, like, sometimes they're going to get you. Sometimes they're going to get you. But like I was saying, man, like, he missed 2 games 2009 with turf toe because he tore a ligament in his toe, and then he had an ankle injury versus the Seahawks 2019. That was it. And I mean, he probably could go charge Mayfield with like some type of assault if he really wanted to. Like, I mean, as bad as he got,
he was letting him get
from that 21 season.
And he got up every time. I remember watching that, like, damn, one of these times he just gonna lay there and Matt would get up every time. He's like the Terminator.
And that game against the 49ers that year, our screenshot was him running into 6 49ers at the goal line. No other Falcon in the screen. Just hit. He knew he's going to take probably multiple shots. Didn't care. Like, that's
I would say this too. He never had a team that I seen Tom Brady. When Tom Brady get hit too hard, the team come to his aid. I never really saw that a lot with Matt Ryan. He stood up for himself. So he had to get up and talk his own trash. And I'll never forget when he spiked the ball. That's probably my favorite moment. That was so out of character. I watched that 100 times when he spiked that ball and was that dude. I'd never seen him act like that. So that was a proud moment. I love this dude, man.
Yeah, exactly right. And he told a story about, I didn't know this either. Today he was talking about, or yesterday, on that one interviews that he and his dad would basically go home from every game together, like, and that'd be like their time to talk, like. And I thought that was just cool as hell because him talking about his dad and not Mike. What I know of your dad, I think that they're probably similar. Like, our dads are probably very similar, as there wasn't a ton of like congratulations and like great jobs being thrown around. as you're growing up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't because they didn't love you. My dad was
Yeah.
fantastic. I know he loved
Yep.
me.
Same.
He had a ton of, he was very proud of me. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I think they're cut from the same cloth because it's
Yep.
just your stories. And I know you got to meet my dad a few times,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and Matt talking about his dad saying, like, he told him after that Packers game, I mean, I'm really proud of you. He's like, and that just, he's like, it hit me like I've never heard you say that before. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, like it was a different era back then. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like my dad would say, he would, like, if I got, you know, I'd make good grades, he would be like, oh, you know, great job, you know. But when it came to sports, like he was kind of quiet. Like, you know, I could lead my game and like my basketball game and scoring or whatever, and nothing, you know, nothing at the end of the game, and I'm looking for it, but nothing, you know what I mean? And so like that was cool to hear that, you know, like he, because as a kid, you know, especially as a son with the father, like that's what you want, right? You're trying to get you want your dad's admiration, you want his approval, like all that stuff. If you know, and like so that was huge for him. So I just thought that was a cool story.
Hold on, John. I want to say this. That helps. So I don't want anyone to hear that and they think it's toxic. It's not. It helps you become a man.
No.
Because like John said, my dad loved me. My dad, you know, but I recall before he died, he told me he was proud of me, and it took me so by surprise. It made me cry. And my dad has like a video he did for me before he died. I have not watched it yet, so I want to wait till I get married or I'm 50 or some type of mouth, or I'm dying maybe, and I get to watch my dad. So I don't know what he said to me. I have not watched the video, but he recorded something talking to me before he passed away. But these things mean something because what my dad would do was he would point out, man, you could do this a little bit better, and you shouldn't have. And you caught attitude when you dropped that pass, man. You can't, you know. He will point out what you need to improve upon, and that helps instead of just rah, you amazing every time you don't need. That doesn't help. So I really thought that it was great. You know, I think that helps as a dad. I think you got to be that type of dad.
Yeah, I think, I mean, at the time, I think, you know, you don't realize it because you, as a kid, you're just like, damn, man, like, you know, like,
yeah, I scored some points.
Mom was like super happy for me.
Yeah,
like,
mom.
You know?
Yeah, yep. But, mom gave me high five in the hut. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, other parents were happy for me. Like, what's up with you? But no, that wasn't the case. And the same thing, like, you know, I saw my dad cry once in my life. And it caught me it caught me, and it was the day we left to move to Las Vegas. And I swear I never even dawned on me. Like it never even like I never thought about it at all. And then like he went to hug me and he's bawling. And dude, it caught me so off guard, dude. I for the first 30 minutes down the road, I lost it. I was like, and that part of me was pissed. I was like, why would you do that? Like I'm about to go to Las Vegas. Like, why would you do that to me the day I'm leaving? You know?
Yeah.
But like it was man, that was brutal. It was brutal. But that was, I mean, anyway, yeah. I mean, I know we got off here talking about our dads, but like that, you know, that story Matt told, that resonated because I get it. You know, I totally get it.
And I do want to say this too. He also said a great point on that. When he first came here, I don't want to skip over this. When he first came here, he said part of being a leader that he understood. He said he always played team sports, and he said he knew when he came here, like he knew he was in Atlanta, but he said he was conscious of the fact that you get respect from being yourself. So he said, I can't pretend to be nothing that I'm not. So he said, I knew I would have to be myself. And he said, young, I've always been comfortable in my own skin. That is a jarring thing that I see when I see Matt with anybody. There are times where you feel like you should be uncomfortable in this space. And he be sitting back with his hands like sitting, talking. And I'll be thinking like, dog, you really black. You really are black. And but he's not. He's just himself as he like Johnny Yates. He's not trying to be a black man. He wasn't trying to be cooler than he was. He wasn't trying to do anything that was not him. He was just being himself. And him being himself, he got respect from all his teammates. So he never came to Atlanta and felt like he had to be cooler or more louder or more rah. He wasn't trying to be Tom Brady. He wasn't trying to. He was Matt Ryan. He did it his own way. You gotta respect that.
Yeah, 100%, man. And let's get a few more comments, and we'll jump back in the conversation here. Millie said, "Does all the comebacks at Boston College count in his career? Because dude might be first on that list."
Yeah.
Look, the receivers he was working with at Boston College,
But I didn't watch that film. I went back and watched. He was good then.
Yeah, and those receivers weren't. I mean, like he made
Yeah.
those guys good. I mean, like
Yep.
he was. Yeah, he made those guys good. Well,
Double
listen.
B said, I'm late to the party. How you ever won? Thanks, Matty Ice. MVP. A great 15. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Matt did his part. Always
Yep.
did his part. Millie Mills said, only the rings separate Big Ben from Matt. Other than that, ain't really no difference. Yes, sir. Double B said, best memory of his career is the spike. That's what I said. Though. I never forget the spike in the end zone after the TD run to steal the game against the Packers in the playoffs. We crushed them. Yep.
Yep. 100%. What's going on, DJ?
DJ, what up, dog? DJ said one of my favorite Matt Ryan memories is his rookie year when he led us to the playoffs with the 11-5 rookie record. We just had a bad season prior to drafting him due to the Michael Vick situation. Yep.
100%, man.
Jamal said spitting all facts. Yeah. Miss Lethal, what up? Nelly said that dumb. I was gonna make a whole TikTok dragging him, and I said I didn't want to be negative, but I never forget what Nelly said, and I still might get him. Nelly said that dumb issue about the Falcon. Yeah, Millie Mills said hell. Even Vic, thanks Matt for filling in the hole. Yeah, even Vic respect the man. DJ said I was in 6th grade when Matt Ryan made his debut, and that whole season I was fired up because it felt good to have hope. Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, the Birdcage.
Birdcage. There we go. We just talking about you.
Yeah,
what's
man.
going on, fellas? Y'all definitely are telling the truth. Thank you for coming. I love that thing you got there, buddy.
And we look, and we are, and if y'all don't know, if like I said, if y'all haven't watched Birdcage, please do. But we're planning to do a collaboration post draft. We're going to do one together because we got to. Hey, there you
Birdcage.
go.
Yeah, Mike Smith has talked about how valuable Matt was to our organization and the success of his team. He's the biggest Matt Ryan fan. He up there with me and John. Trust me, he loved Matt.
Yeah, exactly.
He used to always talk highly of him. Go black or you whack, dog. I was thinking that, and that was wrong to think, but that was the way I was thinking at the time.
Hey, and you met me like 2 years, like a year later, year and a half later.
Yeah, for real. No, real, yeah. Dog, I was programmed to not like white people. Then when I was younger, then I grew out of that. I had my own experience, and I grew up as an adult. Double A said Snelling was tough too. Very underrated. Tough as nails.
He was, man. He was
tough as nails.
Yep.
Millie Mills said, Mike, I totally agree. He had to win everybody. We all looked at him like another Joey Harrington. Yeah, and that was us being biased because of the color of that man's skin. But dude held his own and made me a believer. Yep. I'm gonna tell you, and you gotta he said the Birdcage said, put him in. He's been the top QB in the NFL numbers. Don't lie. You gotta respect that. Regular season. Yeah, look at all them stats, y'all.
Yeah, that's
I ain't read them all, but look at he's been top tier. Like, and I'm not me and John are never gonna sit and say that this man is better than Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes.
No.
But like right here, Matt is ranked 7th all time in NFL history at quarterback. That's undeniable, man. And I want to say this too. That's the part we look over. When you come to Atlanta, you got to win over. I want to tell you a story real quick. Johnny Yates was hired at a damn near all black campus where we were. The whole staff was black. I would imagine how uncomfortable that would be for a person. I can vouch for John was never uncomfortable. John took the same attitude. I just be myself. John never tried to be something he wasn't. And John won everybody over with that. But that is an uphill battle because people, let me see, because you got preconceived things you already. And then that if that person is cool, that person changed the way you feel about the entire group. And that cannot be discounted. And that's what Matt did for a lot of people that was like me, who was like ignorant, right? And you sitting there watching like, I can't be, but I'm loving this man. He taught me, like, I love you, bro. I would fight for you if I saw you in the street. I'll buy you a beer. I'll help you with a flat tire. I'll help your kids out. Like, I'm your biggest fan. So I think he changed. It's Atlanta. You came to Atlanta and made everybody love you right after Michael Vick. That did a lot for race relations, if you know it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Matt didn't walk in the locker room as like I didn't walk in the first time I met you and was like, "Hey, what's up, homie?" Like, I didn't do that. I mean, I could have done that; it wouldn't matter. But he was himself. And yeah, Birdcage, man, I went through some of those numbers earlier, and we got some more numbers too. Not necessarily his, but when we talk about the Hall of Fame argument,
talk to him, Johnny Yates.
We do have again. so when the Hall of Fame is looking at this, they're going to be looking at several different factors, right? You look at the stats the man had himself, and of course it's going to hurt. He doesn't have a Super Bowl. Yeah, of course that hurts. If he did, I think he's a no-brainer, right? It's just a no-brainer. He's in. To me, he's a no-brainer anyway. And you talk about the regular season stats and the postseason, we talked about it, but dude, the last, where I put it, the last 6 postseason games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 sports season games. He didn't throw an interception at all. And his ratings were 86, 101, 144, which, by the way, 4th highest rated quarterback in Super Bowl history. 139, 125, 114, 93. Like I said, he averaged 100.8. That was his average rating in the playoffs. So, they'll look at that. They look at the type of person he was, which we'll get to. Like, obviously, there's like, as a human, like,
yes.
I mean, like,
that's what's valid.
He walks into the Hall of Fame. Like,
moonwalks
in the Hall of Fame.
Moonwalk. Thank you, Johnny Yates.
Yeah, I mean, he does. It's like, there's no better human probably than him. But you look at, your quarterback's only as good as his offensive line, right, for the most part. And then you have to have a defense. And you look at his O-line ranking. So from 2008 to 2021, when he was done with the Falcons. So his best one that he ever had was 2017 when they were rated 2nd. What happened in 2017? We almost went again. We were 2 yards shy of basically Julio falling down on some bad turf, and there being a fullback lined up as a receiver. This is a stupid ass play Sarkisian drew up. But anyway, his rookie season, I'll just go through it. 25th, 12th, 6th, 17th, 15th, 30th, 26th, 4th. And then 2015 was when they had the 4th rated offensive line. That's when, Shanahan came in and we got that zone blocking going on and this whole scheme change. So obviously the line got better. 2016, 6th, 2017, I just said 2nd, 18, 5th. And then we went back downhill again in, 2019, 24th. And we just drafted Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry that year. Caleb finished 34th of 38 on right tackle, which is not a great year for him. Lindstrom was hurt most of that season. Then 2020, we were 21st. 21, we were 27th. So throughout the career, not a great offensive line. He had some good ones. He had some really good players. Like as we said, we talked about Todd McClure, who, like he said, is just like instrumental in his leadership and like what
he loved Todd.
He sure does. And we've been trying to we're going to get Todd on the show eventually because we have communicated. So I'm going to try to get Todd on. But between him. Alex Mack, obviously, man, 2 phenomenal centers he worked with. But there were some swings and misses, buddy, on that offensive line. There was, Sam Baker, for instance, at left tackle. Oh my God, just Jalen Mayfield. I'm not going to go through all the offensive linemen, but there were issues. Is all I'm saying.
Never complained once.
Right, never complained. And then defense is the whole other thing. So you're looking at there's scoring defense, and then there's total defense, right, or yards per game, right? So from 2008, 2021, again, our defense, as far as yards per game, 24th, 21st, 16th, 12th, 24th, 16th, 32nd, dead ass last, 22nd, 25th, 9th, 28th, 20th, 29th, 26th. Now, in points per game, we're a little bit better than that, but you have to kind of look at both, because yards per game, you can look at it as like, well, even though they might not be scoring as much, the offense doesn't have the ball as much because they have this many yards. If they're getting as many yards, the offense is on the field a lot more than we are. So that's hurting as well. So, in 2000, our Super Bowl year, 2016, we were 22nd in yards per game allowed, and we were 16th in points. 25th in points. 25th. So not a great defense at all. We were averaging over 30 points a game because he and Shanahan were just rolling. And we had those players. So, as a Hall of Fame, like I said, when they're looking at, and by the way, the Hall of Fame did tweet out, Pro Football Hall of Fame tweeted out that with Matt retiring, 2028 does become an interesting year. Like they're already talking about it because, you're looking at all these things because all that goes into the man's career. You cannot just say, what did he do by himself with nobody else? You look at the man's stats, you look at what he did, but you have to look at what he's surrounded by at the same time. And because that's the only fair way to do it.
That's the only fair way to do it. If y'all are being honest, man, I think a lot of people's argument is, well, if he was this good as y'all say, he would have won more and this and that. And again, man, you couldn't have been watching. Matty ball every time, but we had shitty defenses. We had shitty offensive line. There were plenty of years we had no running game to speak of. We had stupid coordinators. He had poor coaching. we had a lot of negative, bad things that Matt Ryan was attached to. But y'all got to be real with yourselves and be honest. What is the one thing you knew every week for sure was going to come through? You didn't know how the defense was going to play. You didn't know if the coach was going to do some bonehead shit. You didn't know if the offensive line was going to block. You didn't know how the running backs would perform. It was some receivers I won't mention that we didn't know if you would catch. What is the one thing you knew for a fact would come about every week? You know, number two, which should have been number one. You know, number two was coming with his best effort. It was like Michael Jordan. You knew Jordan was going to play. You didn't know if Rodman or Scotty was going. You knew Michael Jordan would perform, and Matty performed without fail. Man, you cannot. So to me, a Hall of Famer. We're not even gonna get in person yet, but football alone with what he had, that was an amazing performance with what he had, man. I think that I want to be honest. If you put a whole lot of the people that y'all praise in that predicament, you would have had a worse or similar result. But you praised them people because they had great offensive line for years and they had great coaching and great defenses. So yeah, you won. But then you give all the credit to the quarterback. But that was, yeah, I mean, he was in a good situation. Y'all know what would have happened if y'all put Matt. You saw what would happen when you put Matt in a good situation. He was the MVP of the league. That was, and he performed. And when we lost the Super Bowl, you know who showed up and showed out that y'all don't bring up? Matt Ryan gave one of the best performances in Super Bowl history for a quarterback. Y'all don't bring that up because we lost. But the man earned it, and I think that man, like a missed block should not be if you get in the Hall of Fame or not. Did he play well enough to win a Super Bowl? Yes. Did he win a Super Bowl? No. That wasn't on Matt. Matt played well enough to win that Super Bowl, and guess who would have been the MVP of that Super Bowl? You feel what I'm saying? That's how well he was playing. Y'all don't bring that up. You just say he lost. He couldn't have been that good. And a lot of people's argument, to be honest, is foolish. Because whatever he do, he could have did 100 more. He threw for 200 yards. He should have thrown for 300. Okay, he threw for 300. He should have thrown for 400. Y'all would have won. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He should have threw for 4. You're only putting it on one player. When John just told you, it's several factors. So I'm just hoping the Hall of Fame is fair. And I know as the league is changing, so stuff is inflated, and you know, I understand that. But the company he is in is Hall of Famers with all the statistics. So it's the right thing to do. And I mean respectfully, because of the human, to me it's first ballot. Because I think that all goes into that. You name me a quarterback you've ever seen in the history of the National Football League that conducted himself more professionally than number two. That you name me one. Name me the scandal or the tweet or the TMZ footage or the soundbite or the drug test or the performance enhancing. No asterisk.
None.
None. That gotta play into that. The most professional guy we've ever seen in the NFL, man, and never threw a teammate under it. Where was it, man? You gotta factor all that in, and that's why I call him the GOAT. I'm not saying he's better than Tom Brady. I'm not saying that's why that's my favorite player. That's why he's the GOAT to me. The man's a stainless record, flawless.
Yeah, you've been fans as long as we have, and the people that have been fans longer than us. I mean, you know, there wasn't a consistent quarterback presence for a long time. You know, Chris Chandler was the closest thing we had, you know, in the late 90s, and Chris was good, but he wasn't, you know, Matt Ryan good, you know, and it's like
that's Uncle Steve and them that who like really saw before I was watching. Like they know.
Yeah, I mean, so like, you know, you go through that. Like I said, Mike was exciting and everything, you know, he was amazing, but you know, he absolutely brought stability to the franchise, to the team, and it's something that we needed desperately coming out of the post Vic era, man. And he did a fantastic job doing it. Jordan said, "I'll never forget Matt's last season here when he got his finger stepped on, and yeah, and he was cleaning it with a towel in between snaps. True warrior. That's, yeah, blood all over it. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
dog. That's, and I want to say this too. I think we got to throw this in there. What Michael Vick did, I know no one agrees with. I'm not here to support that. I'm not here to do that. What I will say is this: you need to go so far in the opposite direction if your employee does that to fix your image. The world is talking about you in a negative manner. They're not just talking about him. He represents you. So the world is trash. And how could you hire what an animal? Why would you allow? You got to go so far in there. He saved the franchise. He saved the franchise. Can you imagine if he would have got caught doing anything?
Man,
What the tag of Atlanta would be? That man had to be perfect. And that man literally was perfect. That's why you don't, when y'all talk about his arm strength or whatever, you missing the point, bro. You missing what you
yeah, but
missing.
even that, go back and look at some of those earlier years. Like, he wasn't as noodle arm as folks think. Like, he could put the ball in there when he needed to, and he could throw it deep when he needed to. Is he Josh Allen?
You
No.
just said ball placement. Ball placement was excellent, man. Matt Ryan is one of the most accurate dog. When you wasn't expecting him to throw no intercept, when he threw a pick, it blew your mind, didn't it? Oh, I didn't even know he was capable of doing it. The man wasn't throwing no interceptions. Lisa said Matt is tall and slim. A huge man. He don't look it. He's huge. It's remarkable that given all the hits he took, he didn't miss more games. Just an Iron Man. He don't look tough, do he?
And he's like 2.5 inches taller than me, and he's got 10 pounds on me.
Yeah.
And like, he's out there taking like beatings.
Matty Ice for Matty Ice for life. Facts. Roddy figured it out when he got a QB that delivered, and he helped Matt out a lot.
Sure did.
He took it. Curry said his top 10 in so many stats. He really is carrying damn near everything. I really do mean that. He's top 10 in damn near everything.
Yeah.
All Pro, Offensive Rookie of the Year, League MVP, 4-time Pro Bowler, reliable quarterback who missed few games, man. I miss him more, but the point is he's Hall of Famer. We could do this shit all day.
Yeah, sure can. I mean, like, Rookie of the Year.
In the first 14 years of his career, no one threw more passes than Matt Ryan. That should tell you alone. I carried my team more than any other quarterback in the history of this sport was asked to do. The stats say that.
I heard what Calvin really said.
Ain't done it since Matt left. So the dude really is a good quarterback, man. I wasn't even going to bring that up, Millie. I'm glad you said that. I forgot all about that. We saw
what Calvin said when he went to Jacksonville. He specifically shouted out Matt.
That was amazing. Calvin went to another team and was getting interviewed and went on a rant. Hey, I just gotta say thank you. This dude taught me everything. This dude, and he made Calvin look amazing, didn't he? And he is amazing. I'm not saying he's sorry, but he made Calvin look even better. He made him get that contract, to be honest with you. That's why Kerry said the only reason non-Falcon fans say he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer is because of that Super Bowl that we won't talk about. What more could he have done? He balled out in that Super Bowl. He did everything besides win the ring, sadly. And I always say, I know I say that as a joke, but if anybody deserves, we ever win, you got to mail that man one. He deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, and the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just like you said. I'm not going to rehash it, but yeah, he did everything he could do. I mean, defense. How about you stop somebody? Devontae helped you make a block. Shanahan, how about you call some run plays? Like, a lot of things happened in that game that shouldn't have went the way it went, but it did. And like you said, he did his job. I mean, like there other folks lacked on their jobs. So,
if y'all went to college or even high school, have you ever had a group project and just one of the people you was like, mother, right? But then when you stood up, this person, it bring the whole thing down the notch, and they say, oh, well, you got to see. And you didn't want to throw the person under the, but man, because he didn't, but you had done your part. It's nothing else you can do at that point. We got to see. Because I'm not being graded for what I did. My man, Chris, what up, Chris? Hello, Falcon fans, to the Ice man. Ice baby. Hey Chris, man, I seen Anthony Edwards for the first time, dog. He looked like Michael Jordan and played like Michael Jordan. I was blown away. The first time I didn't even know who that was until 2 days ago. He's amazing. The
This
Birds
is a
Hayes said Dan
great
Fouts
point.
can get in the Hall of Fame. Matt Ryan got in. He has Helen. Yeah, Winslow, John Jefferson, Charlie Jones. Yeah, West Chandler. Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
even
that
sniff.
is a
I think, yo,
hell of
you
a point.
gotta put him in there. You
It's a
have to
great
put
point,
him
man.
in there.
Yep, exactly right.
Yeah. So like I just wanted that he's important to the state of Atlanta. He's the ambassador to the state, and the way he's conducted himself is just there's nobody like Matt Ryan. There's no one you can. There's no Matt Ryan. He's like Lil Wayne to me. Like there's no you can't. That's he's one of one. That's Matt Ryan is one of one. There's no Matt. Nobody like the guy. I
Hmm.
respect him as a man, as a human, as a football player, everything. Liam said that's not the case. You are very supportive of me for everything, John. He said you cheer him
I do.
on, man.
I do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I mean, yeah. I mean, we have a great relationship, but like
yeah.
but from a very early, he's only 13 now, about to be 14, but like from an earlier age, like I didn't have to tell him very much. Like if he had a bad game, like he knew it. Like, and it
Mm-hmm.
was, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
pile on. I'm not going to be like, yeah, you should have done this, this, and this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like he knew it. Like, and if you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. If you don't, you don't. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We can move on. But yeah, I'll be there to support you always.
DBN said Matty Ice will forever be our Falcons QB number one. Yes, sir.
Absolutely,
Forever.
absolutely.
Matt Ryan had the most wins against the Saints. If y'all don't like him for nothing else, if y'all don't like it, well, that just screenshot that. If y'all don't like the man for nothing else, he inflicted more blows on New Orleans than anybody else. And him and Drew Brees, man. Uh I've those guys, that was a amazing thing to see as a time in history. I
Hmm.
remember when that first time that I seen them play, I felt like that Breeze was gone and Matt was gone. I felt like I was watching something that it just didn't feel right. So to watch them play was an absolute pleasure. I'm a big fan of Drew Brees, even though he was over there. Drew Brees was amazing. He's underrated for being that small. To be able to do what Drew Brees was doing was
Yep.
unreal. Him and Matt, the way they took it to each other, that was always a pleasure to watch. It was Jordan and Magic, man.
Yeah. Matt said his favorite place to play outside of Atlanta was Lambeau.
Hmm.
His most hated place to play was obviously New Orleans, but it was his favorite place to win.
Yeah,
And
yep.
I think Archer even said that like during one of the wins he had, like he saw Matt like intentionally walking slowly down the sideline to get to the locker room, like he was just
Yeah.
soaking it all up.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
So Matt is from Philly, a PA suburb where he was raised in. If you've been to Philly, you know it's one of the cities that predominantly black. So he definitely fit in and grew up around black folks. And I'm gonna tell you, you could see he from Philly with the toughness. That man is not that. That's a different level of toughness. He might not look tough. He don't look like Mike Tyson. He about tough as Mike Tyson. So he a gangster. When you bleeding and you hurt and you like, oh, no, don't take me out. And you want this last shot. You want the last. Give me the ball. That man got more. But you got two coffins when he died. One for his balls and one for his body. Man, you gotta love Matty Ice, man. It's nobody like him, dog. He's oh man. I love the guy.
yeah,
Bro, I want to tell y'all this, bro. This is my favorite show we've ever done already. This is I'm in heaven right now. Like y'all have no idea how much this means to me. I'm him. Millie Mill said, and I fly the black and red bird, not the other two. That's why I say Matt Ryan turned out better than Flair. I'm gonna be honest, man. When people make that comparison, I don't go back. It's insulting to me. It's insulting to me to make that
what's up,
comparison.
Wallace?
Wallace, what up, Wallace? Look, he
Appreciate
got the number 2 jersey on in the Dan Marino didn't want, and legend. Probably the most one of the most sharp quarterback, if not one of the best we've ever seen. Elway came really damn close to not winning. He's a legend. Yes. You got
it.
to
Yep,
I hope the
absolutely.
Hall of Fame is fair when they do that. I know he's going into the Ring of Honor. I'm gonna be there for that. I was not there when Iverson went in, which will be a thing on my record forever. I would love to have been there, but I want to go to the Ring of Honor and the Hall. I will go to Canton when Matt Ryan go to Canton. I will be in the crowd, however much the ticket costs, and for sure in the stadium when he go into the Ring of Honor.
Side note, I sent you that picture of Iverson's statue. Did you see it? Did you look at it?
It infuriated me, man. Dog,
Why
man,
did
that
it?
was a trophy. That was not a statue. Out of all the players we've ever seen have a statue, no one was that small. And that man
It's like, what are
changed
we
the
looking at here? I mean, the
yeah,
man,
but
like, he meant
and
for that
I feel
team.
like he was
Did he?
happy about it, but I thought it was insulting, man. Because man, whoever else you see, it's a life size big thing in the
Yeah.
you see. So when you do that, man, don't do that, man. He
Don't tell
little,
me.
but come on,
Yeah, don't tell me you couldn't like they couldn't afford to do a damn full
they
full
couldn't.
size
Yeah,
statue, man. Come on.
defense cost us that Super Bowl. Yes, it did, Birdcage.
100%.
We gave up 25 points, and Dan Quinn screwed up by not kicking the field goal. Matt was on point that day. He played one of the best Super Bowls ever. And Matthews' false start killed our momentum.
Yes,
Yeah,
it did.
they never bring that stuff up. You want to hate this man. You want to put it on him, and that's an odd thing. When I hear a lot of y'all talk, that's weird to me. I don't the man like you don't know him personally to not like him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so let's speak about Shanahan. That man is the reason I cried so hard the day after. Yeah, that's a true story.
That's a true story.
That
Yep.
was a precision pass like Kenny Stabler. I watched that footage. I wasn't old enough, but I watched that footage. And now I'm just waiting on the day Julio does the same. Man, he need to tweet today. I hope he tweeted. I didn't see it. He need to say something. Matt
Yep.
is my cue back. I'm just rooting for Kirk. He's not out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying yet. Like Matt is ours. Matt is homegrown ours. I feel like when I see Matt Ryan, I feel like I'm watching my kid. This man the same age as me. I feel like I'm watching. I watched you grow up. So I'm when he's in the sports booth, I'm in awe because I'm like, bro, I seen Emmett Smith try to do that, and man, he fumbling over the words. It was horrific. And so it ain't just a easy anybody could do that. When I watch the man, you do it seamless, bro. You doing the same thing. Your rookie year, you already good. What is with you, man? Like he came in good. He's amazing at it. Year one, he'll only get better. I want y'all to know something. When Matt Ryan called our game, I don't know who's calling our game, but my mom told me. And it meant so I couldn't believe Matt Ryan was calling our game. And I went through the roof, man. That was I'll never forget that day. I never forget it. Like that's awesome to have Matt Ryan calling the Falcons game. That was and he's biased as hell. He will not. He won't say certain. I'm like that was clearly he just won't say it. He let the other person say it. I love it.
And he did. You heard him shoot down the coaching possibility, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he
And
said,
I'll be honest. I
I
want him to be
mean,
happy. Yeah, I want him to be happy.
$303 million.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd coach either,
yeah.
man. I'm not gonna.
You know,
I would do what I
yeah,
like to. If he enjoys doing
yeah. He
enjoys
loves it.
doing then that, just keep doing that, man. Just keep
Hmm.
doing that. Burkay said all the statues are like that. For the 76ers, they keep those statues in the practice facility. Oh, okay. You've noticed any
Okay.
statues like that most ones
Okay.
in back. Okay,
I'm
well that
glad
makes more sense.
now you met.
Glad you
I
pointed
want
that
to
out.
tell you something. Lil Wayne, Matt Ryan, and Allen Iverson, they mean something to me that's deeper than what you might believe. But that pissed me off. I love Allen Iverson with my whole heart. He
Yeah.
influenced my life
Glad y'all.
positively.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all told us that. Yeah, we don't know. I don't know shit about Philly sports other than
Yeah,
what I have
Matt
seen.
Ryan statue in front of the bench. I think that's now that he retired. I think the greatest. I love Dion. He's the reason I started watching. But Matt Ryan is the greatest Falcon of all time, hands down to me. And I love
Yeah, man.
Julio, but Matt Ryan is the greatest Falcon of all time. I don't think that's an argument.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, so the last part I guess we have to talk about really is just the person, man. And like that's kind of like I guess how we'll end the show because I mean, if Matt ever happens to see this show, like for me, and I'll start, um, you know, Matt, dude, thank you for literally saving the franchise, like literally
Mhm.
coming into the city with, 22, 23 years old, and I guess not necessarily realizing like what it meant to be there and what like I don't of course he couldn't have known like how his career was going to go, but man, like we needed it badly. We needed that stability. We needed something to cheer for. As somebody said earlier in the chat, needed that hope. I think it was DJ said we needed that hope, man, to really
Mhm.
just like grab onto. And then you gave us that between him and Mike Smith and what they did with those teams. But man, the way you conducted yourself for the entire career what you did here in Atlanta, Advance the Life, starting that, which you did with the Boys and Girls Club. You cannot talk about how good of a person he is. Now he lives here now. Like this is his home, and he said that in his press conference. He's like, my kids are now, they're from the South. They grew up here. They're going to grow up here. You know what I mean? And so like, that means a lot, so, but yeah, I mean, just can't thank him enough, man, for what he's done for our team, what he's done for our city, for being a consummate professional that he has been. I said it, I tweeted out to him, I said, after on the retirement, just I can't say thank you enough, because obviously being fans and our team's history is not great, man. It's been a tough road. We never won a Super Bowl. A lot of seasons are not great, so when you stick in there like we have for as long as we have, when you have somebody that comes in and just like embraces the city, embraces the team, and performs the way he did, and never makes it about himself. As you said earlier, it's always, I can do better, or he's never going to say anything bad. He may cuss him out in the locker room, but he's not saying a word to him on the front of the media or anybody else. He's not saying anything back because he understands like how important that team and how important those people are to his success as well. So just for being a fantastic human, dude. Like, thank you for being a fantastic human and doing the best job you possibly could have done here with our squad here in Atlanta. And all the best to you, man. I would love to have you as a coach, but I understand that, you got little kids and, you're making that, you already made that money. So, hey, man, if you enjoy broadcasting, go enjoy your broadcast career. But always welcome in Atlanta, man. And I think obviously he knows that, man. But it was, yeah, I mean, I didn't write anything down to say because I was just going to go off the cuff. But I mean, like, again, I mean, no Falcon means more than he does to this city, man, to be honest. And so, Mike, I know you got something too, buddy.
So let's do it. Johnny Ice, I want to, it's only in the Hall of Fame, body of Falcon mind. Okay, it's no players in the Hall of Fame. But I told Johnny Ice, this is my honor to do this. Today, we will induct Matt Ryan in the Out of Your Falcon Mind Hall of Fame. Now, y'all got to bear with me. I might get emotional doing this. It's my favorite player. Just give me a pass, okay? Okay, give me a pass. Let me tell you something. Let me talk right to Matt. Hey, Matt, let me tell you something, man. I love you as a human being. I love you as a football player. I love you as a person. Matt Ryan, when George Floyd happened, Matt Ryan's response wasn't a tweet. His response was not a cool quote from whoever on Instagram. His response was starting a foundation and asking the black players on his team, how could he help? He's asked the city of Atlanta, how can he be of service? Because he saw, hey, this is not right. This is a problem. Then he took $500,000 of his own money and started that foundation. Matt Ryan has the foundation. I want to tell y'all something. When you go to that website, the first thing you see in big letters is, can you imagine Atlanta when every black child has an access to opportunities? The mission statement to alleviate structural barriers to black youth success by working with after-school programs to increase the social capital of black youth and their families. That's a white man. That should mean something to everybody. If you like him as a football player, you don't. Atlanta Promise Youth Center, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Atlanta Children's Hospital, Believe and Achieve Foundation. I want to tell y'all something that y'all totally missed because he's so good to us. When he got traded to the Colts, he was over there for 1 week. And you know what he did? He met with the owners and the management and everybody and said, I need y'all to tell me how I can be of service to this community. I need y'all to tell me, to give me ways in which I can make if I live here now. And he didn't stop doing what he was doing here. And I want to shout out to his wife too, because they started that foundation together. It's not just Matt. That's Matt and Sarah Ryan. He helped black kids in the ghettos of Atlanta get into STEM, which is what we need. We don't need any more basketball players and football players. That's cool. He's helping them get into STEM subjects, which is absolutely awesome. The main thing, shout out to Daniel Flick for this. But the main thing that everyone says with Matt, with the charity, every other player that we look up to, and this is no diss to them, you know what they do? They write a check. I helped. You know who's the only player they ever seen in person? Number 2. By itself, no security. In the hood of Atlanta. I want to tell y'all something. I love Future. He don't do that. I love 2 Chainz. He don't do that. I love Tip. He don't do that. I love Jeezy. I love all, you know, all the rappers stay here. Ross stay here. You know, Boosie stay here. Who have you seen doing that? All right, but this 6'1", 6'2" white man is coming in the building, and you can't believe he in a suit, and you think it's an accountant, and then you look a little bit closer, and it's not an accountant. It's Matt Ryan. You got to give this man props as a human. I speak to him directly, dog. You made me a better human being from watching you every week. My team is ridiculed since I was a child. Since I was a child, your team some shit. Your team, sorry, your team don't win since I was 9 years old. So to watch him rumble with my team every week means something to me personally as a man, because he represented something I love every week, 10 toes down, 110%, with all of his might, hurt or not. And he made them put respect on something I love that they was ridiculing. And you know what they did instead? The people who didn't put respect on him just started ridiculing him. And he was ready for that. He from Philadelphia. Bring that shit on. I'm still not throwing nobody under the bus. I'm not going to make any excuse for what I won, what I didn't win. That is class. I want to tell you, dog, you made me a more classy human being. I watched how you done things, and I copied you in so many ways as a man, because the way you conduct yourself as a man is fucking unreal. It's absolutely amazing. That is something to be said, dog. From class, being professional, you showed me how to take something serious. You showed me how to be in control of myself. You showed me how to never give up when the odds are stacked. Young, you clearly about to lose. Man, give me the ball. Now, you taught me all of that stuff. I don't even know you. I never met you as a man. And you taught me even more how to be myself than I already was doing. Because I've never seen you have to pretend or try to like acclimate to what you was around. You Matt Ryan. And you Matt Ryan when you in the hood, and you Matt Ryan in the boardroom, and you Matt Ryan at the children's hospital, and you Matt Ryan when you're sitting with Cam Newton. And all your peers speak of you highly. The only people that don't on Twitter and Instagram and shit. All your teammates speak of you highly. All your peers speak of you highly. Dog, we love you as a man, as a human, as the logo. Let me tell y'all something. I do so much for the state of Georgia. I got that from Matt Ryan. All that I do, I got it from him. Because I love living here. It means something to me. The people here mean something to me. The people here mean something to him. He came back. He didn't even stop the foundation. He didn't sell his house. He gonna raise his kids here. And his kids are hilarious because they look like Matt Ryan. I gotta throw that in there. They look like mini-me's. It's hilarious. They wear suit and ties. It's hilarious. Okay? But we love him because he represent us. He love us. Dog, Cordell love us. The way Matt love us, it make Cordell look like he don't love us. And you know that's saying something. Okay? Matt came back. Matt always represented us. He always held us with class, the entire state. There's nobody. We love Dion. We love Dominique. No one person has represented what Georgia is. I told y'all this like 2 shows ago. Georgia is everybody. Gay, straight, trans, whatever you are, black, white, whatever. That's Georgia. That's what Georgia is. It's not an all-black state. It's not that. Jordan, what's up? It is not that. And Matt Ryan represents that shit more than anybody else. Because the being, hey man, I don't care what color. I don't care what status. I don't care about your money. Matt Ryan is the logo for Atlanta, Georgia. I wouldn't say Atlanta, for Georgia as a state, a huge state. and which has a checkered past, but not good things. We had a checkered past with football, with what Mike Vick did, and we love Mike Vick, but to clean all of that up, that wasn't the team that cleaned that shit up. That was not PR that cleaned that shit up. It wasn't management that cleaned that shit up. That was number two. Who's really number one? So I respect you as a man. You know, you changed my life watching. I'll look forward. Yeah, I argue with so many. I don't argue with nobody. I don't argue. I've argued in your defense, brother, 158 times in my life. As Johnny says, oh, I come to bat every time. I'ma come every single time. I don't argue over the internet. We can argue about number two. I'ma do it 100% of the time until my head stop hurting, and I gotta stop. Okay, but I love you as a man. I love you as a human being. I'm glad you live here. I hope to interview you one day. And I'm just happy you was on my team, dog. Like I said, number two is number one to me. It means something to me personally. Say we retired as number two, and we wish this man well. And I hope everybody respect you. I'll be there when you in the Ring of Honor. I'll be there when you go to the Hall of Fame. I absolutely love you, genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I love you, man. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. And now y'all see why I went first, because I just wouldn't have said anything. I couldn't. There's no way to top that, because I knew what you were going to bring. I knew the kind of fire you were going to bring on this. So I was like, you know what? I said and I said it. And I'll say it. You know, but like, yeah, I couldn't say it like you were going to say it. So that's
he's one of my favorite people, not football player. One of my favorite people in the world. He's an example of how we all should treat each other as human beings.
Yes.
And how you should treat your profession. You feel me? The man is in a no asterisk. No asterisk. I stared at his family saying, I want that one day. With Summer Rae, I'm coming for you. Man, I love Matt. So thank you, man. Just thank you. Can't say it enough. I love you as a man. I can't wait to meet you. I'm gonna meet you one day. We're gonna get the interview, but I'll buy you a beer, man. I love you to death, brother. You're my favorite player in NFL history. I love you.
Yeah, Kerry, that wasn't gonna work. It would have fell so flat, and I would have had to cut the music off, and it would have been good.
Hall of Fame. Out of your Falcon Mind Hall of Fame, the only player to go in. I love you, buddy.
Yep, and probably the only one. Well, maybe eventually, maybe we see some more players in there, but hopefully, like we said, man, he'll get in the real Hall of Fame in 2028. And we should say, and if I'm sure y'all already know, but he did sign a 1-day contract with the Falcons to retire as a Falcon. So he did that yesterday. And a few more comments, and we will get out of here, and I'll get some. We'll both go get some dinner, man. But Birdcage brought up a great point. So we need to start a petition for Tommy Nobis and Jesse Tuggle.
Yes, sir.
To get in the Hall of Fame, just like we petitioned for Matt. Those three are key to organization, and he could not be more right, man. Tommy Nobis, extremely underrated. Go back and watch whatever you can of Tommy Nobis. Underrated as hell. Great player. And Jesse Tuggle, of course, you know what the hammer was for us, man. But anyway, so yeah, man. Mike Millie said you got to.
I got to get two because I got to wear one, so I got to get another one so I can frame one, and and I can wear one.
Yep. Night, Kerry. We appreciate you tuning in tonight, and thank all y'all, man. I'm on Twitter
thank
and
you for this one.
We had over.
We ever did.
Yeah, we were up around 120 folks between Twitter and YouTube, man. So it's awesome for y'all to come by, and because I know everybody's draft talking and everything, but we just wanted to do this show for Matt, and just talk about him and his career and what we think and whatnot. But speaking of the draft, man, we've got Chris. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
We got draft night 7:45 Thursday night. Come for our channel, Pound for Pound's channel, New Millennium Falcons channel. Make sure you subscribe to all of them. But you can come hang out with us. We'll be here for the entire length of the draft, and we'll talk about who we're going to pick up at number 8, and we'll just talk about all the picks, and then of course going into day 2 and everything. But that's going to be Thursday, and then we'll probably next week I think we're good for our regular Thursday time. So we'll be back to Thursday. Mike will be out of town, I think, for a little bit. anyway. So Mike may be coming to us from undisclosed occasion on Thursday.
Yeah.
So he'll be there. So
thank you, Jordan. I want to thank y'all for coming to this because it really means a lot that y'all would come and show that man respect like that. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. So we appreciate y'all so much, man. Again, if you're here, hit the like button for us, hit the subscribe button for us. If you're listening to us on iTunes, Spotify, any of your audio platforms, you can leave us a comment or a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate that. Keep us scrolling there. We do have merch, Bonfire. Now, I always forget to talk about the merch. We do have merch. It's bonfire.com/store/out of your Falcon Mind. All the little dashes. If you just Google Bonfire out of your Falcon Mind, I'm sure it will come up. But I will put the link up there next time, so it'll be a little bit better. Millie, we appreciate you, brother, as always.
Thank you, Millie.
So we will catch y'all Thursday night for the draft. Bring your beer, bring a soda, bring some chips, some popcorn, whatever the hell you want, and sit back and relax, have some fun with us. Appreciate y'all so much. Matty Ice, you're one of a kind, brother. We appreciate you, man. Matt, take us out.
Out of your Falcon Mind. We love you, Matty. Peace.